Here across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. For the longtime Panther, Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Herbert just beat the play clock. That ball caught by the rookie from Georgia. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, it's Hampton, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now it's Herbert. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Now fourth down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And New York set to take the field. Here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Now it's Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, They had to punt it away, this time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Herbert off of play action. He finds his man, complete. That's Hampton. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Now a handoff up the middle. Hampton, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
I know any coach would take 2nd and 3 all day. You think you're in pretty good shape. Instead, after 2 runs, though, they're at 4th and 1. Didn't pick it up.
Back-to-back 1-yard gains. This defense, the challenge was accepted. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, 78 yards. And the Giants are on the board first here this afternoon.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Charger offense making their way back out there. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
To the left side, he's got McConkey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
Herbert. Open man right side. That's McConkey. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Over the middle and caught by McConkey. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 24-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
They'll run on first down. It's Hampton. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
2nd and 6. Here's Herbert. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Here's Herbert. Setting up the screen, Harris. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
That one taken in by Neighbors. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
There's a short one caught by Johnson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Here's Wilson to throw. Again, it's Johnson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. Gano's kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Chargers offense back onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A solid stiff arm. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that first down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little buffing. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Herbert now. That one complete to McConkey. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 3rd down, Hampton. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 56 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Facing short yardage on 3rd down, but he was able to pick up a very sizable gain.
He certainly was, and I think that maybe they were fooled a little bit because you and I both know this is a passing league, and that's not normally a running down, and they fooled him with it. Safety had to make the play. Otherwise, he's still running, and the next thing, he runs right into the goalpost.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack.
One of the league's best linebackers, he ended that play almost before it began, and the running back absolutely overmatched no matter what he tried to do.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Back to throw here, Herbert. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And this one is right through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. And now out come the Giants. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. In motion goes the tight end. A quick throw there is incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Wilson. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Out of the gun, Herbert. And his throw here's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Herbert, pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Now this one finds McConkey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Short throw to Disley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. They'll try the left side. It's Hampton. And he's taken down inside the 30. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. To the air again, Herbert. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Possession of the football going back over to the Giants. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Here's Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Wilson. That's complete to Robinson. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Wilson. That's complete. It's Neighbors. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
The Giants on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. Wilson now off the bootleg. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be, trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at the 20. And they'll begin by running the option. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd and 8. A first carry for Najee Harris. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Herbert. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Now it's Wilson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Quality coverage that time to slow down what's been the main source of offense against them thus far. Got to find a way to slow down that ball in the air.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Jamie Gillen now on to punt. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Short throw to Disley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He's got this to Williams, complete. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Open man right side. That's McConkey. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 28. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
Yeah, Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. And the Giants with one final possession here in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Now this thrown deep for Slayton. And that's caught inside the 30. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. And the slot man goes in motion left. From the shotgun, Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Here's Wilson to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. To throw is Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open, and when you read zone, You've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Left side, he's got Robinson. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10, he got 9. 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. Hampton. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 25-yard line.
111 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
They'll try the air now with Herbert.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Deonte Banks with it.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown.
So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this 3rd quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got him moving downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football, and that ultimately could wind up costing him the ball game.
Gano the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
After another impressive run, the question has to be asked, how do you slow these guys down running the football? I think they're going to try and get more people to the point of attack, try and get more people to the line of scrimmage, almost use a variety of run blitzes in order to try and get it done.
Again, it's Harris on second down.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Over the middle and caught by McConkey.
And they're going to be set up down around. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Here's Herbert. And it'll be intercepted.
It's Deonte Banks with it. And the Giants are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
After the interception, here's Wilson. This one is Slayton over the middle. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Tracy trying the right side.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Right back to Tracy.
And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Charger defensive unit making their way back out there. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Dexter Lawrence that time in on the stop.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Open man here is Conklin.
And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
That ball caught by Slayton.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3. Wilson. Caught out left side by Robinson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing is Wilson. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown from 13 yards out. And the Giants are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Play action. It's Herbert. Caught left side, Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
Now this one finds McConkey.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw.
Into the hands of Williams across the formation.
And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he'll just get rid of it.
Absolutely nowhere to go with the football, and he's just going to put this one in the Hudson River. Maybe he's a little fortunate he didn't get called for grounding because that one was well over everyone's head.
2nd and 10.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Herbert back to the air. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers.
Lad McConkey.
A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Chargers are able to cut into that deficit. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And New York set to take the field.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start with a run by Tracy.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
Throw left side complete. That's Robinson. Just a gain of a couple there. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Able to locate his man Slayton on an out route.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 more there and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Play action. It's Wilson. Rolling to his right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
The slot man in motion right. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 25 yards that time.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
They'll hand it to Tracy.
He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal.
They'll go again with Tracy.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on third down, I think he'd probably throw in here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Giants have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns third and goal into a touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? but even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Options galore here, second and a few inches.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Out of the gun, Herbert. And he's got his target, Harris. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 26. A good pickup there, 26 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
That one complete to McConkey.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Again, Herbert. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Herbert. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for one here and save the possible two-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for two here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
They do tack on the extra point as well, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a two-point conversion.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all three timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense.
And this one now not quite over yet. Still two timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that third timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. On the give, it's Tracy. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. On the run is Tracy.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. This to perhaps salt this one away. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Herbert and the Chargers down by 11, a little over 50 seconds remaining. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down. Herbert to throw. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. He'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them. Well, defensively there, you want to play it a little safe and keep the action in front of you, but you definitely aren't looking to give up plays like that. They still got the cushion of a 2-score lead, but don't give them a freebie here in the final minute.
One last throw here for Herbert. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the 2nd half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from MetLife Stadium.